leadership to provide the necessary resources that is required on ground. Now, based on our calculations, we need about close to 3,500 to 4,000 personnel on ground. And this is we saying that three people will man one polling unit. So that is the number that we are mobilizing now. Now, as you know, election takes a lot of money. And what we have come to realize is that Labour Party does not control any state for now. Labour Party does not control any state resources. Even if they do, we're not going to ask them to use state resources to vie for election. This is what other parties are doing. So the money that is meant for development, they usually like stack it, and during the election, you know, they push this money out. But what we were doing is that we're going to run a people-based campaign where our people will volunteer. But even when they volunteer, we are supposed at least at the barest minimum to take out their logistics. The logistics include their transportation and their feeding. Now, for the ones that are within the premises, we're not bothered about the hotel. Even if we are thinking about hotel, we're going to put all of them in one place so that we'll be able to dispatch them in the morning and ask them to go do what they do. So there is like an estimated minimum of like 5,000 per person that we're thinking. And this is just to take care of their transport, their feeding. Okay, we're not paying them, they are all pure volunteers. Now, the thinking is, how do we raise this money? We're not asking Labour Party for money. The OSUN state governorship candidate does not have this money, you know. So what we're doing is that from a coalition perspective, we wanted to support them with the resources. Now, our thing, we have always said that in order for us to rescue our country, there has to be something we have to do as individuals, no matter how small it is. And when we say this, we say either you volunteer. Look, I'm happy to get 1,000 people that says, look, I'm ready to take care of my bills. Don't bother paying me. I will volunteer on that day for 10 hours. That means you come in the morning, you stay with us, and then we give you the polling unit you are to man. Then you man that polling unit and be sure that the rigging doesn't happen and be sure that they don't manipulate, and then report. So if we are happy to get people that are buoyant, which is what we are looking for, people that are buoyant, that they know they can take their own bills, those people can come up. We're ready to deploy them to the polling unit. But we also know that we have a lot of our brothers and sisters that are ready to volunteer but do not have the financial resources. So those are the ones we are raising funds for. Okay, so what we're saying is that this main event is purely to raise money for the Boots on Ground campaign in OSUN. And the Boots on Ground campaign means we'll deploy 3 people per polling unit. Now, before they go to the polling unit, they'll be involved in the campaigns. So those 3 people will be given a target to make sure they have a particular number of people they're going to walk to the polling booth with. So it's like a network kind of thing. And this takes a lot of activities and a lot of, you know, movement and all that. So we hear people say we don't have structure, and the response I give them is that we'll shock them. You know, we get a lot of calls, we get a lot of people saying they are ready to volunteer, they are ready to come out. You know, the enthusiasm is high. You know, and we're also testing a lot of things that we might not make public now, because I know in this forum a lot of them would have come and joined. Let them hear what we're saying. We're testing a lot of things that we're not making public, but as we go, you hear our sound in the media as we go. So my plea to everyone here is, we need funding, we need resources. These people you are battling with have stolen money. They have it stacked. They will not come to the public like this and be begging for money. They already have it stacked. And they want to use that money for the elections. Now, if we allow them to do that, they will take back that state and continue looting that state. But what we are now saying is that let us all come together and see if we can rescue OSUN. Let us stop the looting from OSUN. Let us see how we can, like, you know, use OSUN as a test case for the big one. Okay, so OSUN will be like a serious test case where we'll say we are deploying everything and we want to see how it's going to work. So this program is basically to ask everyone, whatever you have, we're not asking you to empty your treasury. Whatever you have that you think can support OSUN, happy for you to support us. And if you have families in OSUN that you think you can link up to us, that are ready to come and join us and volunteer, this is a collective task. This is we trying to say, let us all come together and let us, you know, rescue our country. Let us take our country from them and let us run our country the way countries should be run. So OSUN is a test bed, and we need everybody on ground to support us in OSUN. The coalition have a lot of other programs going, but for now, our focus is OSUN. Maybe as we meet in some other time, we'll abreast you of the other activities and all that. But OSUN it is for us now, and we hope that every one of us will support us in this journey as we put our boots on the ground in OSUN. Thank you so much.
Thank you, and thank you, Marcel, there for that update. So what we will do now is, if as Marcel is here, and for many of you who do not know, Marcel is the chairman for the Coalition4PO. If you have questions, we will take questions now. We have everybody's hands lowered, so that if you're raising your hand now, we'll know that your question is definitely for what he just said. Now we have Pharmacy Madueme, please. Kindly unmute and ask your question.
Hello, thank you very much. Thank you very much, my respected, obedient colleagues. I'm very happy for what is going on, and I'm very happy for what the last speaker had just said. It is it's really a motivating act, and I wish we all support. I would like us, the organizers, to put their candidates so that those that want to need to test drive this our campaign, so that we can make an impact for the.
Sorry, come again. You are breaking. Can you say that again? You were breaking. Marcel, did you catch what he said?
He's saying thank you for what is happening, and then he said he's happy with what we're doing, and that's a good word of encouragement. And then he was saying something last as he might want us to do something before the network decide to do. And I think there's a serious network challenge in Nigeria, maybe because I learned MTN is having problems. The same thing is affecting some of white other people that would have been here. But we will progress as we do. Now, the most important thing is this is we being practical. This is not someone sitting on social media and typing. This is we deploying resources on the ground, and that's why we call it boots on the ground. And we need to back them up with some resources for them to do what they need to do. So the question is, your 1,000 naira, your 5,000 naira, your 10,000 naira, your 100,000 naira, anything you can. Let us see if we can take OSUN. Now, we have two major candidates in OSUN. One of our coordinators is also contesting for the House of Reps in OSUN on Labour Party ticket. And then the president, the governorship candidate is Labour Party. And let me be honest to you, the Labour Party governor is very strong in OSUN. He's been a former senator. He has a track record of winning a lot of local governments in OSUN. So it looks like a very clear chance for us if we give him the right support. So we have a candidate that is very strong. We have a candidate that has won elections in different local governments in OSUN. He has a track record. So what we're saying is that let us do the necessary we can do to stop rigging, And then the new set of voters, we've done our analysis in OSUN. OSUN has a lot of new voting bloc that is coming out. So we wanted to, leverage that by also matching it up with we being on ground and encouraging them and walking them into the polling booths and ensure that nothing happened. There is need for us to be on ground. There is need for our boots to be on ground. And what we're doing now is that we are appealing to everyone to support us to make this happen.
Thank you very much, Marcel. So do we have, I think Pharmacy Madueme is back again. Let's hope that the network plays better now. Go ahead, you can unmute yourself.
Hello.
You can hear
Hello.
you.
Okay, I said that it's going on for the mobilizations. People are really doing great. What the last speaker has just said about the forthcoming election in OSUN and the Labour Party governorship candidate is doing well. So I feel it is pertinent for us because this election is, I think it's next week. So about either a week or 2 weeks from today. Candidate so that we can start making payment for the logistics and in OSUN. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. So Marcel, I think what he said is quite clear. Now, can we take, we've had him now, can we take Pastor Emeka again?
So thank you. Please, sorry I come back again. Is a question also, as my coordinator said. The issue is this Lagos P2B supporting network. I have a candidate that a person that want to join Lagos State, but this thing is filled up. Is there any way they can help to open another line so that, because I believe they are having more numbers, and that is where we expect to have more votes. If the people are there, let them open more WhatsApp line that the people can join. There are people that are interested to join. And then come to my head, because I'm in Ogun State, and that's where I reside. I have some people, most of them, they were afraid even to come up. But I have people, not massive number now, who are ready to go. But there are some people that are still afraid that the way they will attack them, this is Yoruba land, but they do not destroy their property. And that is giving us some problem even to get a place we call a center we can stay. Because I've moved around to get a place I wanted to rent so that we can have our first physical meeting. But the area, everybody are afraid even to release their property because of the way some of all these people, the other parties, they behave. So we still need these more lectures, at least like message sending, all this SMS sending, posting it to us. It can help us even to put for our own platform to encourage them. So those are where I want to ask. But the other one you mentioned about finance, I'm also a financial member. I'll be contributing. You can check the records, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. I think the leadership will take note of what you just said. And please, can we ensure that whatever we are saying, that we stick to the issue why we are here today, please. You know, we have the various rooms to address those. If a room is filled up, you can always reach any of the admins. Jay Wells, are you there? Joshua, are you there? Kindly unmute. Joshua, are you there?
Okay. Good evening to you all.
Good evening to you.
Good evening.
We can hear you. Go ahead.
A big good evening to you all. Okay, my name is Joshua Ebiebi. Actually, this is my first time of joining the coalition group. I am the National Director of Nigerian Youth for P2B. And by God's grace, one of our state directors is contesting for the Senate. That is Abimbola Oluwadale. I think I got the name right. State in OSUN State. So I like very discussing with the leader of Like Minds for P2B. He told me we are not just campaigning for Mr. P2B, that if eventually Mr. P2B win and the people in the late chamber are wicked people that his government cannot excel. So we need to do all we can to ensure that we enthrone other people in the Senate and in the House of Representatives to ensure that he. So I'm glad I'm joining. Whatever agreement that is reached, I'm going to reach out to some of the members of Nigerian Youth for P2B to be part of it.
Thank you very much. I think network is really affecting many people that are, joining from Lagos, or rather from Nigeria. But can we also take? I think, Marcel, if we're happy while we are waiting for the Labour leadership to join, and for the candidates, that means the person contesting for the governorship and the person for the House of Assembly. While we are waiting for them to join, you may want to start. If you're happy for people to start making their contributions, because I think what is needed, the amount has been said, how much that is needed, and also beyond that, then the account number could probably be flashed on the screen. But before you do that, I think Jay Wells, please, I ask again, if you want to raise your hand, ensure that you change your device name to reflect your name, please. Jay Wells, please go ahead.
Okay, good evening. Well, I'm Olawale John. Jay is John. Wet is Ayola, so it's just my way of shortening my name. Good evening. From OSUN State. I just want to commend team. In where I reside, we also have one small group like that, where and then suggest how do I
Sorry, we cannot hear you. Sorry, we cannot hear you. Can you please log off, log back in?
We should try and use. Hello.
We cannot hear you. Can you please log out and log in, please? We are taking Oguche Samuel, please. Now, do we have various state coordinators here? The states, various group coordinators from various groups here. Please, if they can give us updates as to their activities so far in the state, in that state. For now, I think as the chairman of the Coalition4PO has said, we have over 21 groups. So obviously, not all those groups are all active on OSUN. But those that are active in OSUN, please, if you're here, kindly raise up your hand that we will take you so you gave us also updates. Now, like I said before, Oguche Samuel, please, unmute yourself and have the floor.
Can we recognize Umoren? Umoren has made a donation of 20,000.
Umoren.
Yeah, he sent his chat message I just saw now.
Okay. A donation of 20,000.
Yes,
Lauren, thank you very much. So I don't know but what we might have to also do is to, while this is ongoing, we can also flash the account number on the screen.
Okay, then Maz, sorry, before you go, let me quickly clear this. the video of the voting that you saw on the internet, we have cross-checked. What we understood was that that was something that was done by El-Rufai in 2019, trying to prove that that the online voting can work. So this is not a new thing. It's something that was as far as 2019. You know, we tried to confirm. We reached people and they confirmed to us that it was a video of what happened in 2019 when we were trying to prove. El-Rufai in Kaduna State was trying to prove that online voting can work. So it has no bearing with what is currently happening. Just to clear that. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much for that clarification. And I think that was actually, yes, you know, to support what you said, that was, you know, a project that was sponsored majorly by international donors, and Kaduna State used that for that was prior to 2019 presidential election. They used that for local government elections, actually. So that was what that was used for. Olusegun, Baba, Lola. After that, we'll take Stella. Olusegun.
Yeah, good evening. Good evening, everybody. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Network in Osogbo is not very good. I'm sorry, I'm in a place where the network is good so that people moving around. Labour Party or whatever. I want to thank you all for this great innovation that you have done. It's wonderful and it's welcome there. My name is Olusegun Richard Babalola. I am the one contesting for the House of Assembly in the picture for this August event.
Okay,
I'm
sorry. Since you're the since you know I didn't know that before now. Yeah. Can you please turn on your camera and use the opportunity to address the people? You know?
Where I am, I can't really. I wish I could. Okay, let me see if I would. Let me see if I would. But it's this place is not so good. Do I have to turn on the camera?
No, that's fine. Then go ahead. If it's not comfortable for you, go ahead.
Yeah, it's not very comfortable because of where I am.
And before you go on, for those requesting for the account number is flashed on the screen. Now, if you go through the whiteboard, it's there, and the account number is 10125755854. And it's an account dedicated for this event, and you know it's a P2B support network account with the keystone is a sub account 10125755854. And you know, before our good friend Olusegun takes the podium again, we must remind everyone that OSUN State has 31 local governments, 332 wards, 3,763 polling units, and that totals equals to 4,126. So if you understand this, imagine where we have a minimum of 2 people each, and that's going to give us an idea of how much that is needed in order to fight this and to really win this battle. Baba, Lola, again, thank you very much for being here. And now you can sell your manifesto not only to the world, but also to those in your states. And now tell us the reason and why you understand we're here. Thank you very much for being part of this.
Yeah, thank you, sir. I'm also the state coordinator of Peter Obi Support Network, and we have been working our asses out, really. But unfortunately, I may not want to say all the things we have done. Just like Marcel said, my Oga said, it's not everything that can be stated. But what we have done so far and what we're doing now is that we have a structure that will do exactly what we're talking about here. And that's what we have been working on day and night. And we have support also from people that are coming in to help us. I can't say their names as well. It's just unfortunate that this election is close and we can't say put everything on the board. But I could do that for my guys. What I'll just say is that what we are doing in Osun is going to be a template for other states next year, in the next year election. So we're going to make mistakes, but we're going to do our best, and we're going to learn from the mistakes, and it's going to be used for other states. Generally speaking, I believe there's any way coming down into this country. I think God has answered our prayers. We have two wonderful candidates. That's the president of Obi, and then also Lasso Yusuf in Osun State. If you check out his agenda, he has 5 agendas. Number one is affordable health. Second is good education, because education here is terrible. It used to be good, but it's not very terrible. And the third is agricultural revolution. The fourth, it's actually the same thing that Peter Obi talked about when he says that we need to move from consumption to production. But Lasso Yusuf is focusing on agro economy, agro businesses. I mean, turning our raw materials, basically agricultural raw materials, into industrial products. And the fourth, basically, it's infrastructure to support all those 4 things said. It's not just ordinary infrastructure. Now, the issue is when you look at it very well, you know that, I'm sure you all know that, it's not like Peter Obi and Lasso Yusuf sat down together to come up with all that. They're working differently, independently, but they are working towards the same goal. And that is, let me use Peter Obi's words again, moving from consumption to production. I think that is the most important thing that we need in Nigeria today. The second most important thing, like for me, I was in Pronaco in 2006, 7, 8, and I've had a long experience in constitutional conferences and all that. And I joined Labour Party basically through the Thought Force as National Consultative Forum. And we've always been on constitutional reforms and now what we call restructuring. That's the second basis. Lasso Yusuf has always been talking about that. He's been always, if you watch these 2 debates, he focused majorly on those 2, on that major thing, on devolution of power, particularly for security, which we need now. We need security, we need to fix that. He's always talking about state police, but not only that, even though some people say it's dangerous, he's talking about local government police, city police, even university police. We need to decentralize power, not only for security, but for some other things, so that we can actually transit from consumption to production. And for me, as a young man, I believe I'm part of the NSAS generation, even I'm a bit older. I believe this is a new way for this country to move forward. This is a time for us to be part of the world, be a force in international politics, but we have to work hard first at home. Now, if we could get our hearts right, we return back to our work as the haven of all the Black people in the world. And that is what we must do. That's what this generation must do. That is what Peter Obi must lead us to a new nation, a new people. But to make that happen, as my earlier speakers have said, we need people in the houses, in the House of Assembly. We need people in the Senate. We need people in the House of Representatives. And most importantly, we need more states. And let us start with Osun. Now, I'm going to House of Assembly, and basically my job is to make Osun work, to use Osun as a template, because if we want, we're going to start our government before the next election. And the first thing first is to deliver Osun for Peter Obi. And the second thing, which is more important, is to have leadership with experience to show the whole world why Labour Party is different. So basically, that's why we're into this. And we're ready to give all we can. And as I said earlier, we have people in all the local governments, in 31. We have people all over. We are working on the people on the ward level. And I can tell you categorically that when we have the funds that we need, we have people that will work. And they are waiting, some of them are here as well. And I'll end this with a simple thank you. I mean, I thank all of you for this. Something I've been praying for, and I hope and pray that Peter Obi will come personally to Osun State and hold up Lasso Yusuf's hand and tell the whole world, particularly people, the youth in Osun State, that this is the guy they should vote for. That is going to be the game changer. So I pray that all works. So I'm obedient forever, and I'm also useful Well, you know, we have two usefuls now, the VP and the governor of the gubernatorial candidate of Osun State. So thank you very much. That's all I will say. I pray the gubernatorial candidate, that's Right Honorable Lasso will join us as well. But if he doesn't, please forgive him, because the guy has been working for the past 6 days, going to like 4 local governments every day, comes back home late, packed out most of the time. So, but then I pray he may still make it. I pray he may still make it. I'm sure his presence here too will kind of raise up our hopes. So that's all I would say. I particularly raised up my hand because it was said that you were expecting me. Actually started this with you. I logged in 5 minutes before, and I'm really committed, and I pray that we succeed. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Olusegun. Thank you. That is excellent submission there from you. People, you hear that now. You know, that's what we, in the Nigerian parlance, we say you have heard from the horse's mouth. This is not us here telling you that this is what we are raising money for. This is election. People will be sitting down, every one of us. Labour has no money. You know, we know where Labour was before our principal made everything turned around. Now, Labour has no money, and don't sit on the fence and say, oh, they will win this election. No, elections are not won by just sitting down and do nothing. They are doing the ones they can, physically being on ground, going. You heard that our man contesting for the governorship, who we still believe will join us to address us here, to say this is the plans he has for the people of Osun. And, as the former, the late Moshood Abiola said, you cannot barb a man's head in his absence. Now, no one's hair is being barbed here. Everything that we are doing is in the open. Those contesting the election are here with us, and we are trying to raise these funds in order to ensure that their votes, the votes that the people in Osun will give them, will not be rigged. It will not be taken. We don't want to hear, oh, this place, they rigged it all because there is no Labour representative. No. Like Marcel said at the beginning, if you do not have funds to give, please volunteer your time. Volunteer your time. If you want to be that person that is going to stand there while people are casting their vote in that state, and ensure that that vote is counted, and that it's counted, nothing is added and nothing is subtracted. In doing that, that is going to help. And once more, I thank our brother, Babalola, for really, really believing in that and really working. And that when he gets there, he will ensure that, better laws are made, that he will not be among those when it's time for people to vote on critical national issues that you and I may be clamoring for. It will be the time for them to use the toilet. And some of them, it will be the time for them to be, using the back door. On some, we even be eyeing to go into the other room. But who be that is may, we want to have the narrative changed. And in changing that narrative, it only can happen with the help of you and I. You and I are the ones to do it. And that's why we are here. Thank you very much, my good brother, Olusegun. Now, we have someone also joining us directly from Osun, that is Bismarck Oji. Bismarck, you now have the floor to address us directly from Osun State. You've been in Osun for a couple of days now. Can you tell us what's on ground, Bismarck?
Oh, good evening all. Hello, good evening all.
Bismarck, we can hear you, but why are you hiding your face?
Okay, sorry, I didn't know my face was hidden. Maybe it's a technical hitch. I didn't know my face was hidden. Maybe after I'll verify it. Can I proceed?
Go ahead.
Thank you. Firstly, I thank all who came up. It means there's hope for Nigeria, because in the first place, just like my brother says, you can't stop a moving train. You cannot stop another whose time has come. Like when it was started, it was like a dream, it was like a joke. Then they said it's not possible. But now they're announcing it's possible. And then I was among those who said they keep saying that we're only obedience only on social media. But let's show them that we're on ground. Eventually the election came, and then somehow it happened the way it happened. Then when OSUN came around and said that we have more time now to show that it's possible. And then incidentally, I'm an engineer, an electrical engineer, and then in engineering, we believe so much in test running. If you are building any system, whether it's electrical, mechanical, or structural, from time to time you test run, you learn from your faults, and you go back to the drawing board. So this OSUN election now gives us very good opportunity to do what, to test run the P2B or the Obi Ahmed or the Labour Party political machinery, because we can't be sure of how it's working until you try it in actual practice. Because as we are taught in geography, there's often the difference between what you're seeing on the map and what is on ground. Maybe on the map you might see a stream, but if you get to the ground, you just see a big river, or maybe the river has even dried up. So that's the essence of this OSUN. Then from what we've seen so far, there's hope for this movement, but there's work to be done. First and foremost, the issue of vote buying is a big issue, which I believe we all have to address. I felt bad about 4 days ago when I was listening to Festus Okoye, the INEC Commissioner for Voter Education, on Channels TV. Then he was asked pointedly, see what happened in the state. Is there no way the
Bismarck, you have gone mute. It could be that Bismarck, if you can hear me, you are muted. It could be that he is receiving a call. Now, I think for the account that we shared, we have, we can confirm that there is a 5,000 Naira donation from Ayola John Kolawole. Thank you very much. Ayola John Kolawole, 5,000 Naira to that account. Again, let's not sit back and say, oh, Labour Party has no structures and they have not won this election. What we are trying to do here.
I don't know if I'm the one, I'm not hearing you very clear. Can you check your audio? It's not that audible, can you?
My own audio, right? Is it?
Yes, it's better now. Thank you.
Okay, so let me repeat that again. I said that we did receive 5,000 Naira donation, and that 5,000 Naira donation came from Kolawole. Kolawole, thank you very much for that kind gesture. But again, bear in mind, people, we are far, 2 million miles away from where we are headed to. But that's a good starting point. So okay, Bismarck was saying something before his network.
Yeah. Mazi, is it possible we lower every hand and let those who are ready to donate raise up their hands? And then, you know, the account is published. Let us just focus on the donations now while we also talk, but let's focus on the donations. We need to raise this money. And what we're saying is that out of 3,000 to 4,000 people that will be placed on the ground, 5,000 Naira per person. So we'll be glad to know how many people you might want to sponsor. If you want to sponsor 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 10 people, please, let's get it coming. Let's get this coming. Thank you so much. And
again, bear in mind that, you know, we don't want to do the mathematics for you. Just use your calculator, 3,763 polling units. You know what that means. If you want to mobilize those that you want to man those polling units for you, and each one of them to be given minimum of 5,000, then you can do the calculation. So anyone raising hands now will be called upon to quickly. Okay, we have one donor here. That's Emmanuel Benson Omode. So Emmanuel, may you kindly unmute and tell us how much you want to give. Emmanuel, unmute, please.
Hello.
Yes.
Hello.
Emmanuel.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. I'll send 20,000 naira now.
Thank you very much, Emmanuel. Thank you.
Yeah.
That's it. I'm brief. Thank you. Now we have Dele. Oh, Dele, please unmute.
Thank you. I will send for 10 people. You said $5,000, ₦5 each, 5,000 naira each. So I will send 50,000. But can you let me have the account number, please? And I have a question. Is there any arrangement to even bring Peter Obi to OSUN before the election?
Yes.
Okay, please,
yes.
let us be updated.
As we speak, they are all in Lagos, and he's with them, you know, and he also confirmed that he's going to be in OSUN, but he wouldn't say the date for obvious reasons, okay? So,
okay, please. We want him to come to OSUN okay, let me have that account
the
number.
account number is on your screen, and the account so sorry, admins, can you please post the account number on?
I see the charts. I see OSUN State boots on the ground. That's all I see. I don't see.
You can just use your hand to minimize it. You know, it's very large. Use your hand to minimize it. You see the full.
Okay. Keystone Bank. Keystone Bank. I don't see any. Oh, I've seen it. Thank you.
Account number for you. The account number.
The account number is 101-2575. Okay, you've seen it. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
So, honorables, do we have? Okay, we have Honorable Bimbo Oluwadare. Is he here? Honorable Bimbo, if you're here, please, can you raise your hand? Oh, okay, yes. Yes, hold on. Honorable Bimbo is the, senatorial candidate for OSUN East Senatorial District for the Labour Party. So, Honorable,
yes,
now you have the floor.
Okay, my name is Honorable Abimbola Oduadare, a senatorial candidate for OSUN East under Labour Party 2023 general election. So, and I'm at the same time I'm the state director for Nigeria Youth for Peter Obi here in OSUN State. You're welcome. I greet everybody for the job we find ourselves. I pray God will crown our efforts come February 25, 2023. Our governorship election is coming up next week, Saturday, July 16th. So all lands are on deck to make sure we come out in flying colors. Unfortunately, finance has been our major constraint, but the populace, the citizens here in OSUN are with us, and they promise to deliver their votes to us. But as you know, our main competitors, the APC and the PDP, provide enough resources to buy votes. And we've been sensitizing our people, sensitizing the whole public to not to fall for the bait. So that's the issue I can say concerning the election. And according to information, according to our initial plan, Peter Obi was to be on ground in OSUN. That was on Thursday. At the last meeting, at the last minute, the program was put off, cited security reasons. So I wouldn't know. But at this morning, the Nigeria Army, Nigeria Civil Defense, they've been moving into OSUN in droves for preparation for the election. And at the same time, we've been telling our people they should not be scared, they should not be deterred, they should come out and cast their votes, stay behind to monitor their votes. So that is it, sir.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you for, and we all collectively wish you the best. And we
thank you, sir.
We hope that once the election is won, that you will not fail the people in making sure that best laws are made for this country. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much.
So now we have the next donation is Collins Ogboroko. Collins, may you kindly unmute, please. Collins, please unmute yourself. Admin's help. Collins, I don't think you are logged on with audio. Kindly unmute yourself. If you're finding it so difficult, then you may have to go out and come back in. So Bismarck, your network yanked you off before. Bismarck, can you kindly unmute yourself, Bismarck? Bismarck, unmute yourself.
Yes, can you hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you.
Hello.
Go ahead, we can hear you.
Okay, thank you. So as I was saying, from what we've seen, actually, the issue of, but there are two issues I've observed. You know, firstly is the issue of media. There's need for what am I call a blitzkrieg. That's in these last few days, because the election is in about a week's time. Now, looking around there, I've observed that, like I learned from some that whenever you put up any billboard or poster, it gets turned down. Because I didn't see any billboard from the Labour Party and asked questions. And some other billboards I saw were torn. So I said to myself, is it not better you even put out the billboard and it gets torn so that people will know that you did something? So I think there's need for that publicity. And again, on the media aspect, yeah, from the debate done so far, the LP candidate, but even those of the APC, they commend him for having done well. But the issue that most people are yet to have viewed those debates was perhaps they have not been shared extensively enough. So number one, from down here, there's need for us, because media is key, both social media and on the conventional media. It should be revved up. And then specifically, I know in CPO or in POSN, we work with data. So and I said to myself, looking at the demographics, which demographic will more likely vote for a Labour Party or a POB candidate as a new party? I said it will be more of the younger persons. Then where do you find the younger persons who are on Twitter and elsewhere? You find them in the universities and elsewhere. Then I found out that Osun State has like, I think 15 tertiary institutions, and most of them are not on strike actually. They have polytechnics, they have, several of them. So I now felt that we need to zero in on them, because a good number of them, they're already obedient because they're in tune with P2B. But as someone grows older, then the person finds it more hard to be receptive to change. So maybe the other person in the village might not really keen easily. But the other ones who know they have a longer time to live. And you find more about them often, as I said, in the universities or in the polytechnics or the other teacher institutions, they'll be more likely to key into this message of change. That's one thing on that aspect of the media and mobilization. So the other thing is the issue of vote buying. I think we need to put INEC on the front border. That's something that they are doing wrongly. As I was saying before, like 4 days ago, I watched Precious Okoye. He was on Channels TV, and they asked him pointedly, "Is there nothing that INEC can do to protect the secrecy of the electoral process?" Because we saw what happened in Ekiti when people they go inside the cubicle, they template, then they come out in the full glare of every person for them to put the ballot inside the box. Then that's when they now show to people to collect the money. Then okay, was asked on Channels TV, why can't the ballot box be inside the cubicle so that when you complete, you put it there? He said no, that that will be against they say it was a Israel act or whatever. That as of now, what INEC is operating is called open secret ballot. That they guess that most people want to see what is happening inside that box, and I think that's a major issue. Because for what we have seen, there's so much hunger in the land everywhere, and then once that is not checked, it's a major issue. So I like even before now, I spoke with some other people because I'm also a convener of CSO, that's Civil Society Organization for P2B. How there could have been a town hall meeting on the issue of vote buying here in Osho State, so that the people themselves can get the message on why it is wrong to sell their votes. So I'm saying that issue of vote buying ought to be addressed more squarely because it is one weapon. Of course, MPs they have nothing from what I've seen to complain about. It's not that they are into scaremongering. People here are even afraid, in a way that if you try to maybe speak up openly, fact you can get attacked. It's as bad as that from what I've seen, But the weapon they have is that issue of vote buying, and they're very certain, like those of the FPC, they are already going about collecting people's, for those who want their people's PVC numbers. Only God knows what they want to do with it. Then for those in PDP, they are already asking people to submit phone numbers. That if they give you any money, they'll be sure, they call those person to be sure that they got the money and that they are voting. So that is a huge obstacle because there's so much hunger in the land, and so people advertise when you tell them, will you sell your vote for 10,000 naira? Imagine getting 10,000 naira and sorry for the next 10 years. They say no problem, give us, let's eat now. It is as bad as that. Well, they believe that it can be stopped. But if they are shown actually, number one, that INEC has really come out to say, for me, they are sorry that it must be open secret. It doesn't make sense. What we need to do is protect the sanctity of the electoral process. And that lady on Channels TV, she made a good point. Because if you look at the voting cubicle, there's space where you can put that box. So that if you complete, you put it there and come out. But the issue of having to put the box where every person is watching, I mean, it's endangering those who are coming to vote. Because at times, some people, they might be afraid even to go and cast their vote openly. Because maybe you are working in a hospital, or like I said, I heard somebody is afraid because she's working in a school that's owned by somebody in another party. So that if he or she comes out and then votes openly without showing that he or she is supporting that person, I think that she could lose her job. So it is about as bad as that. So there is this need for us to resist that INEC does the right thing. They should not use that as an excuse that it must be secret open. Because this is just common sense, and it's very important for us that in that voting cubicle, you place the box there. Yes, at first, if you are going in, maybe if you're a man, you should be searched and to ensure that you don't have a double ballot paper. If you're a woman, you should serve by a full officer. But if you should be able to vote secretly, not when you go and complete a secret. You come out in the open to put it in. And even the ballot box is also transparent. So it's a major issue, and I want us to put pressure on INEC because there's nothing like people's power. If the people insist and cry enough, then INEC will do the right thing. But it won't cost them more money. The cubicle is there, and for what we know, there's a space just as the lady said on channels where they can place that ballot box so that people can even have confidence of voting. Because apart from vote buying, there's also what we call voter intimidation. Somebody can call you, look, I said, because I'm paying your school fees. If you don't vote for me, I'll stop paying your school fees. You are my staff. Oh, I vote against me. Then you are sacked. Such things are possible, and people are afraid. So I'm urging us from this place. That issue of vote buying can be addressed, and it needs to be addressed. Then finally, again, from what we see here, people need to have some belief in the system, you know, and already from what I've seen, the more these things are clarified, the more people have confidence that their votes will count, you know, and then based on that, they'll come out more eagerly to vote. And if it works, I mean, if people see that their votes count in OSUN, that vote buying, of course, it cannot be totally removed, but that it is minimized in Osun State, then people they'll be more eager to come and participate in what is happening in February. That is the essence of seeing this as a test run, so that any anomalies that is seen now will be duly corrected. Because actually, people believe that our principal P2B has a good agenda, and they are buying into it, even here. And by the time he's now joined, he has been joined by his running mate. But in fact, one person I was speaking to said that now with this person, that Ahmed being the running mate, that is now believed that Labour Party is actually out to run an election. That somebody of that quality and caliber from the North can come out and accept to be P2B's running mate. Means that the North has actually said, yes, let us support P2B this time around. That is down now. The person I'm talking of is also a political office holder. That is now convinced that actually Labour Party is in to win. That he will now put his heart fully in the whole thing now, because it now shows that Labour Party has full support to run for any election that they are going to run for.
Thank you very much.
If there's any way, just like someone has said before, our
can you quickly round up, please? Can you quickly round up, please? Let's continue.
Thank you. The last point, I would just want to buttress what Richard Babalola said. The man at the moment, P2B, showing up will make so much of a change. If he misses, is even showing up for 10 minutes, it will swing everything. That's what I want to put as the last point. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Now, the points all made are well noted. I believe the chairman for the coalition and the leadership of all the coalitions are all taking note of what is being said here. And after this, in the usual meetings, this will be really thoroughly looked into. Thank you very much, Bismarck, for those. Now, just a quick update. We have a donation of 2,958. I don't know why. No, sorry. We have a donation of 10,000 naira from John Chukwu. John Chukwu, 10,000 naira. And we are still waiting for those who pledged to redeem. Having said that as well, we have the next person here, that is Oguche Samuel. Oguche Samuel, kindly unmute.
Hello.
Oguche Samuel, go ahead, speak up, please.
Okay. Hello. Are you hearing me?
Can you speak up, please? If you're using a headset, remove it, please.
Are you hearing? Hello.
If you're using a headset, kindly remove it, please.
Hello. Hello. Hello.
We can barely hear you, sorry.
Okay.
Okay, we can hear you now. Go ahead.
Are you hearing me now?
Yes.
Okay, what I'm trying to say is that actually the entire nation has been engulfed by the P2B movement and the army. The coming of into Labour Party has kept the entire country in great hope.
So how much are you giving us? Can we make it very quick? We have others. This is the time for time for donations, sir.
Okay. Later I will call back to.
So how much are you giving us then?
Later I will call back to give to the date.
Okay, thank you very much. So can we have Chukwuemeka Ngene? Chukwuemeka Ngene, please.
Yes, good evening.
Yeah, good evening.
Thank you very much for allowing me to come in. I just made a donation of 3,000. That is very small, but given my own position, I thought it's just my widow's mite. And this should be accepted in that spirit.
Thank you. Thank you very much. So I think that's the, it doesn't say anything. It just says the transfer of 2,958. I don't know for whatever reason. So I reckon that's the 3,000 in question.
Yes. So I just have a few other comments which I want to make in maximum of 3 minutes. Please.
No, please make it 30 seconds.
Okay. So congratulations to all of us on the emergence of our Baba Ahmed as our VP. That's nice. It's something to celebrate. I want to suggest if all the Labour Party candidates, those who are going to the Senate and the House of Representatives and gubernatorial candidates, is it possible to adopt the SDGs as their pillars of focus? Because that's what I hear our principal, Mr. Obi, has adopted. If we can adopt that across board, it might help. Number 2 is it possible to have a demo on the use of the electronic voting machines, you know, so that people can see how it works? Because some of the people at the grassroots might be intimidated with just the voting machines.
No, no, sorry, there is nothing like electronic voting machine here. The videos you've seen online are misleading you. There is nothing like that. Nigeria is not ready and Nigeria is not using it. That was the, an aid-sponsored program in Kaduna State. Let's be guided. What Nigeria is using is beavers.
Okay, beavers, okay. Okay, thank you. So the last thing I wanted to say is, for me, I think OSUN will need to be a must-win, not suggesting any manipulation. But if we are able, as Labour Party, to win OSUN, it will boost the confidence of people across Nigeria that yes, there's a potential place for them in the Labour Party. So we should put all efforts to win it, and that accommodates all the strategies that my fellow obedient participants have made.
Thank you.
Those are my points. Thank you very much, please.
Thank you very much, and thank you for your donation. Thank you. Now, that was Chukwuemeka Ngene, and they say, as we said the last time we were here, there is an adage that says, let the big fish bring the big broom or stick, and let the small fish bring the small stick. And in his own way, he has given us, and to support the election in Osun State, he has supported it with the sum of 3,000 naira. Again, let us encourage one another. Let's not, after the election, everybody will be complaining, oh, why did this happen? Why did this happen? Now is the time. Put your money where your mouth is. This is the time to make that change. Yes, we can. Yes, we can do it. Samuel, please unmute yourself.
Okay. Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Okay. So far, so good. We are doing well. I want to encourage all of us as obedient. The Osun State, okay, meanwhile, I will support with 5,000 naira that I'm going to create your account.
Thank you. So thank you very much for that donation. Then quickly, do not exceed 1 minute.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Okay. So please, as per the last speaker said, at all costs, we must do everything possible for us to be able to win this Osun State election. because it's a must. Every hand have to be on desk. As the co-host said before, as the host said before, that we will have all the whole areas in our Tuesday, we will have people on ground as to monitor the election. We know what happened in Ekiti State. So based on that experience, we must make sure that we cover every angle as we can to secure our vote in our Tuesday. That will boost the morale of everybody in obedient group. Thank you very much.
Thank you for that. That's straight to the point. Odi Nana, please.
Hello, my fellow obedience. My name is Dinaka, and I'm very happy to be here. It's a big pleasure. I would like to make a donation of 20,000 naira to support the OSUN election. I just wanted to make a 15-second comment. People would like to donate more money if possible. But would like to know the manifesto, or at least some background of the people contesting, because you don't want to be responsible for electing someone who be part of the same old order. That's because that will encourage people to make more serious donations. If you knew the people that you're actually gonna donate money to support. We know P2B, we know Baba Ahmed, but I think some more of, if you can put some flyers on some type of background about some of, I tried to study them myself, but I couldn't find so much. That would be all from me. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you. I mean, fair point. I believe you were here when Olusegun Babalola made, his own contribution. Now, if by any means we are not here to say, can we see your manifesto? I believe, the manifestos are out there. But again, for the avoidance of doubt, if any of these men are here, and when we started, we have a senator contesting on that Labour Party who is also here. We have a House of Rep who is here. We are waiting for the person contesting for the governorship seat. Also, as we had information, he was supposed to be here with the Labour Party leadership, but as it is, it appears they are all somewhere with His Excellency Mr. P2B, so, and they, as we understood it, that there were some network challenges. But my good brother, do not be deterred. The moment these things are available, be rest assured, in whichever group you are, you will be getting those informations. Now, I will use the opportunity now to bring back Marcel and go ahead. Marcel, are you still there? Okay, now, Daniel, do you have any contributions to make at this point? Newsband, do you have any contributions to make at this point? Once more, the account for this is 10125758854. The reason that this fund is needed is to support, and that's why it is tagged OSUN State Boots on the Ground, the governorship election project. For those who are not aware, you can see that on the screen. We have a total of 37 local governments in OSUN State. In that same state, we have 332 wards and a total number of polling units, which is 3,763. Now, if you tally all these numbers together, you're going to be getting right around 4,126. And in this 4,126, we are raising this money either by physical cash or by people volunteering and donating their time to ensure that when people come out to vote, that their votes are protected, that we have people on the ground to ensure that there is no manipulation in any way shape, or form. So be that change that we yearn for, that change that we want. Stephen Chukwu Buikem Theophilus, you have the floor.
Hello, Mazi, can you hear me?
Very loud and clear.
I just want to say, it would be good if we have a UK account. I will support for I'll support for 5 boots on ground. That's about 25,000 naira. But I have a UK account. I am the chairman, Samba. So it would be great if I can have a UK account so that I can make that transfer. Let me also thank you, Mazi, thank Daniel, thank Marcel, thank all of the team. You're doing a great job. God bless you.
Thank you very much, Stephen. Before you leave, obviously you know the challenges with the legalities and all the telling us to go get the eye of a dead elephant in terms of the documentations of doing those, and that is still happening. But for now, be rest assured that we have a running PayPal account which is still anchored on the UK. So you may use the PayPal account for that UK transaction, and that is account at supportnetwork.com. So
okay, I'll do so.
For you, it works out free of charge, actually. So there are no charges attached to that. Thank you very much once more.
Thank you. Take care.
Thank you. So that was, a donation from the United Kingdom. Now we have Chris Aruna. Chris, your turn.
Hello, Mazi. Can you hear me?
Very loud and clear.
All right. Thank you, Mazi, for organizing this fundraising and the team and the host and co-host. Like you rightly said, my name is Chris Aruna, and we have been part of this movement from onset. In any way we can, I always want to show support. So I'll be paying for 4 boots on the ground, and I already made a transfer for 20,000.
Thank you very much, Chris Aruna. Thank you for that. 4 boots, is not an easy feat. We do appreciate every single kobo made here. And also assuring everyone the way His Excellency is frugal with finances, be it public and personal, is the way these funds, be rest assured, is going to be deployed where it is only needed, not where any frivolities will be a thing to speak about. So do we have more people coming in? More boots, more boots. Let's have 5,000 boots, 1,000 boots, 100 boots, 10, 5, 2. We have Chris Aruna. I thought you've just, did you just raise your hand again? More boots, please, more boots, please. More boot, please. That is the section we are. Now, like I said before, Daniel, are you there? Okay, Theophilus, I'll bring you back in. Kindly unmute.
So sorry, I actually wanted to get something across to you, but don't worry about it. I think someone has mentioned it.
Okay. That's fine then, thank you.
Thank you.
Now we have Odin again, you're back. Is everything okay?
Yes, I just wanted to bring your attention to Honorable Deputy Speaker. I think he's been raising his hand. I think, but I'm not sure he's a Zoom guy. So he's not raising his hand the way you're seeing it, but he's raising it physically, okay? So you want to maybe call, acknowledge him.
What's the name again?
Honorable Deputy Speaker, that's what he's registered as.
Okay, so, when you do a Zoom that is this magnitude, you don't necessarily look at individual faces. That's why digitally, we must all be digital compliant. But in this case, thank you for calling my attention to it. Honorable Deputy Speaker, please, you have the floor. Kindly unmute yourself.
Are you hearing me now?
Yes, we can hear you loud and clear.
Thank you very much. For the first time in the history of politics in Nigeria, I'm amazed on what you people are doing. This is awesome. And in fact, if not because of my age and experience of life, I want to shed some tears. It shows that people are now involved. Though it's not a new thing in the developed world, but that the people are coming to donate for a cause that they are not going to be either negatively or positively be affected. It says a lot. I don't know what to say, but because somebody wants to know the background of the candidate, that's why I will speak. Other than that, what people have been doing that I've been listening to, is beyond imagination. I never knew that Nigeria is going to get to this stage in my lifetime. I'm overwhelmed. Not because you are donating to my election, no, but because this is what some of us have been looking forward to having in the last almost 40 years that I've been in politics. I actually started politics in 1983 as a 200 level student in the university. And so, with what people want to know about me, I represented my federal constituency in OSUN. That is Irepo-Odun Olorunda-Orulu Osogbo federal constituency between 2011 and 2019. And I actually became the Deputy Speaker of the House of Representatives on June 9, 2015. I actually contested for the same seat in 2007. And if you go to the law reports of Nigeria, my election petition was probably one of the longest running one. It lasted for 3 years and 8 months between 2007 and 2011. What about my manifestos? I tell people that the kind of education some of us received when we were young is not the kind of education our children are receiving now. When I was in the House of Rep, I have four local governments. I rebuilt completely 17 schools, each of a minimum of 28 classrooms. This in Osun State today, if you are talking about representation, with all modesty, I think I'm the most popular person that Osun has ever sent to the House of Rep. Not because I became the Deputy Speaker, but because my work are everywhere for everybody to see. And again, let me make a clarification. I ran for the governorship primary of APC in 2018. And if you go to history of APC in Nigeria, the issue of direct and indirect primary actually started from me because the power that's been in APC, represented by the man in Lagos, actually said over their dead body, they will allow me to emerge as the governor of the state because I became the deputy speaker against their wish. So I'm not a run-of-the-mill politician. And they just recently that I discovered that I don't actually belong to them because it has always been they against me. And when I did a critical analysis of my politics and myself, and I discovered that there is no way I can continue to play politics in their midst. So education is important to me. Health is also equally important because I will go by what Professor Olukoya Ransom Kuti advocated for when he was alive, a very sound power healthcare system, where we are going to have at least a minimum of one healthcare system facility within a radius of 1 kilometer within every local government. Number 3, I'm a trained engineer, an entrepreneur, an investor, and a farmer too. I will use agriculture to revolutionize industrial system in Osun. As I speak with you, I have close to 2,000 acres of farm. I do palm plantation. People of Osun know me. And in fact, it's like I am the leader of the All Farmers Association in Osun. Because when I was in the House of Rep, on several occasions, I donated tractors to All Farmers Association in Osun to make farming easier for them. So it's going to be agriculture stroke value chain system, because my area of specialization is actually industrialization stroke development. So I understand it very well. And I'm going to make sure that both either in education or healthcare facility or the agriculture that I'm talking about, we are going to do all necessary infrastructure that will make those sectors of economy very, very viable. One other thing that I've consistently told my people in Osun is that there is no economy there. I know there is no economy in Osun. I'm going to make sure within the first 4 years, if I get elected, and I know by the grace of God, I'm going to get elected as the governor, I'm going to create economy for the state. And I'm going to make sure that within the first 4 years, the current budget of Osun is about 150 billion naira. I want to make sure that I'm able to write a budget of between 350 to 400 billion naira for Osun. I schooled in Osun, both my primary school, my secondary school, my university. I actually attended University of Ife. And I'm a 61-year-old man. So I know Osun like the back of my hand. So these are some of the things I can say about myself. And some of the people who have contributed to what is going on now, if they had watched some of our debates, the one organized by BBC, although incidentally it was in Yoruba, and the one organized by Arise Television, we have another one tomorrow by channel at 7 p.m. People can listen to some of us, and you discover that we have it too. So in Osun today, I think I'm the candidate to beat. I've done enough for Labour Party. I picked Labour Party from being non-existent in Osun. And today I've taken it to the level that can win, and will, by the special grace of God, win the governorship election. It's not a small job. I'm the only one do it here. In fact, if that had been like 3 years ago, if you are doing what you are doing for me, maybe I would have even said thank you very much, because that was when there were resources to do so many things. But these days, because of the kind of politics we are into, it's only people in government that can actually run a successful campaign. So once again, thank you very much. This is part of my history that I will always look back at and be eternally grateful that people can come together, from the person who donates 1,000 to the person donating 25,000. That is huge by my standard, because you are donating to a cause that you have believed in that will change Nigeria as a whole. And like I said, I'm overwhelmed.
Thank you.
We are gradually getting there.
Thank you very much. But I would indulge you not to leave because it's getting interesting. When my attention was called, we've been waiting for you right from the beginning. Now, for many people who do not know who just spoke, we just had the voice of Right Honorable Lasun Yusuf, who is the Labour candidate for the Osun election. Now, the money being raised is for Labour in the state, and he is the one. Any question that you have now, I will give a couple of minutes that he clarifies that, because like I said, it is now good and a very good thing that you are here, that we can see you. Before I took notice that you've arrived, I said something that was always in the mouth of late Chief MKO Abiola, that you cannot shave a man's hair in his absence. It appeared we were about shaving the people of Osun's hair as long as Labour is concerned without their consent. But now you are here and people are saying, someone asked a question regarding the manifesto, and you've given a very good detailed account now. I would call upon the public now watching us on our various social media handle. If you, and I must note that this event, this conversation that we are having now is being streamed across multiple channels globally. We have it on Elumba and Newsband Television London. We have it on the Media TV Global, and we have it even on Telegram now on various groups. It's being streamed live. Thousands of people are watching. It is a good time to also call and convince, if you may, in 1 minute or two, the people of your state and the people that you will be governing after the next election. You know, in 2 minutes, I would call upon you to say, convince them, sell yourself to them to say, these are the things I would do. You know, you talked about 4 years. What are those things you could do for them because you're on ground in the next 1 year if they vote you in and believing that they must vote you in? Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Once again, without wasting people's time, first and foremost, I have 5 major points on my agenda. Like I said, the kind of school we attended in those days is not the kind of school our children are attending now. When I wrote my school certificate exam in 1979, I made a Division 1 from a school that nobody was expecting that something big like that can come out of it. Later, attended University of Ife, read mechanical engineering. And since then, I've been staying in OSUN. Once in a while, yes, you spend some time in Lagos. And most of my investment are in OSUN. So I know OSUN very well. So I'm going to concentrate much on education because I'm speaking to the audience today all over the world. Education has afforded me that opportunity. Again, healthcare system in Nigeria is in shambles, and we know what it means when you are not healthy or you don't have access to a facility that can make life very easy. So I'm going to do that. And like I said, when I made my opening remark, that the late Professor Oliko Erasom Kuti advocated for a functional primary healthcare system. And of course, it's part of this international body recommendation that healthcare systems should be within certain radius of the community. And I take 1 kilometer, for example, within 1 kilometer radius of the community, you must be able to get access to a good functional primary healthcare system. Then thirdly, like I said, OSUN today, and since it has been created, has always been referred to as a civil servant state. It doesn't make sense because civil servants are less than 1% of the total population. So if the economy of a state rests squarely on the civil servant, then that you should know the problem such a state will be facing. So it means it's a state that will always go capping out to Abuja at the end of every month to wait for their federal allocation, redistribute to civil servants, and everybody goes to sleep. It doesn't make sense in 21st century when people can't wake up. Majorly the people who are there are farmers and they are doing subsistence farming. Like I said, I'm a commercial farmer here and I have close to about 1,500 acres of farm. I do palm plantation. And so I'm going to use agriculture to lift OSUN out of poverty. This one is what I know, is what I am doing. And when I talk about agriculture, it's not about farming alone. It's about attaching relevant value chain system to it. Like I tell people, if you want to get cassava flour, then you have to establish cassava farm, establish cassava flour plant. And so it's going to be agriculture, which I expect in the first 2 years, I should be able to get a minimum of 20 to 25,000 to farm. That's how I'm going to do. But before you were able to do that, the issue of land ownership and land allocation is very, very important. If you look at Nigeria, it's one major issue that we've never addressed. The military tried to go around it by doing Land Use Act. But what we need now is not Land Use Act. We need a land ownership system that you and I can have access to land, either by buying or government supporting them, because you can't do commercial farming with the kind of land ownership that we have now. When people who don't need the land own almost 80% of the land itself. So when I get elected by the Special Agricultural Board, the first and the most important meeting I first of all convoke is the meeting of landowners. And who are the landowners in Yoruba land? 80% of land is owned by the KBACs. So I'm going to convoke a meeting where I'm going to tell them straight that this is what we are going to do. How do we go about land ownership? So that when we are able to get hold of that, we will now come back to the table and be able to see how we distribute land to people. And it's going to be backed up by an act of assembly. Don't forget, I'm a legislator and I've been a presiding officer at the national level. I know why most policies of government fail is because they don't use their legislative arm of government to do proper laws. And so whatever I'm doing here is going to be backed up by law. So I'm going to treat properly. I know the implication. People will say it's in the exclusive list. Don't worry yourself. I know how to get around it. I'm a legislator. And so it's going to be land ownership, land allocation that is going to be backed up by the act of the assembly. And so we were going to move from the productive stage to the manufacturing stage. The mistake we are making in Nigeria is that we tend to kind of compete with the developed country by operating in the service sector of the economy. And whereas we are not yet there, we have not even mastered our production level, not to talk of manufacturing, before we jump to the service sector. How do I mean by service sector? Yes, it is good to be IT compliant. Yes, it is good to have a good telecommunication system. It's good to have all this. But those are service sector of the economy. But what about the productive sector of the economy? How much of land have we used in terms of agriculture and exploitation of our mineral resources? And so that's why I'm going to concentrate on that. Again, I know for one that infrastructure does not stand on its own. One of the biggest mistakes of Nigeria, either Nigerian governors or president, is that people think infrastructure should stand on its own. People go and build road when you are supposed to build an economic environment, then put proper infrastructure around the economic environment. Not just waking up and be awarding road of 10 billion, 20 billion, where you can actually do a factory of 2 billion and make sure you now do infrastructure that will suit that purpose. So my infrastructural approach is going to be targeted. It's going to be targeted at the 3 points that I stated about: education, health, and agricultural revolution. And finally, there are 2 other things that I don't put on my agenda, but they are very important. Poverty is one of the factors traceable to poverty, is that women are excluded from the economic system. I know in simple economics, if we just begin to loan money out to people, it can, at the end of the day, bring inflation, but you can do it in a short term. I'm going to get women involved in the economy by providing, within the first 6 to 9 months that I get elected, between 5 to 9 billion naira, so that we can put money in their hand to do business. But there is a caveat. That is going to be backed up to by an act of the assembly, and we're going to make sure that the money is paid back. Because the notion that it is government money and people think there is something called government money and it is free is a bad notion. That's why we find ourselves in this kind of situation. And in my campaign, I've consistently told them that there's nothing like government money. What you call government money is money that is put in the hands of elected officers at a certain period of time that should be managed in a manner that generation yet unborn will have access to it. And the only way they can have access to that thing is to make sure that you invest. And so my focus in government is, 1, I'm going to build infrastructure, I'm going to build factory, I'm going to train people to have skills. I have a business in Osogbo. If we want to do any repair there, we go to Lagos to call people to come and do repair there. It's horrible. Even to get a carpenter in Osogbo that will work in that business environment is like bringing rockets to Osogbo. So I'm going to make sure that people are trained, well trained, and they can now earn a living for themselves. People no longer live on certificates. So again, we don't even know how many are we in Nigeria. It's all speculation. Anybody can go to television and say, oh, about 200 million people, about 250 million people. When I get elected, I'm going to create what I call a data center at the headquarters of every local government, where people will go to register properly. They capture their data, the fingerprint and biometrics. Some people will call it census. And I'm aware that census is on the exclusive list, but I'm going to get around it because it doesn't make sense if you are governing a set of people and you don't know how many they are. We don't even know the demography of our people. We don't know who are between 0 age and 6. We don't know those who are between 6 and 11 when they are supposed to be in school. We don't know those who are between the age of 11 and 18 who are supposed to be secondary school age. So I'm going to do a data center at the headquarters of every local government where families, we have to go and get registered so that when government wants to do anything at all related to the population, if you are not registered, you don't have a say. You don't have a say. So these are the things I want to do in brief. And some of these things have done them when I was a member of the House of Representatives. The only one that is bigger is the question of economy, because you can only use government to create economy in an environment. But other things like education, healthcare system, agriculture, like I said when I was doing my introductory speech, that it is on record that I still remain the only person in the history of OSUN politics who actually empowered farmers, not by giving them money alone, by giving them tractors in numbers to make farming easier for them. And that's why almost all farmers in OSUN are going to vote for me in this election. And I want to assure people that I'm not an obscure candidate. I'm the leading candidate in OSUN politics. You can keep your ear to the ground. They will tell you who Lasun Yusuf is. So thank you for this opportunity. Let me say it again. I'm overwhelmed that people are donating to a cause that is not likely even to affect them positively. It's huge. And that such a thing is happening in my lifetime shows that at least in a couple of years, Nigeria is going to get there.
Thank you. Thank you very much. You know, to buttress what he said, you see, that is the spirit here. We are working for OSUN State and to ensure that the Labour candidate emerges victoriously. Many people on this platform doesn't even know that he is the candidate being spoken about. That is to tell you how committed the people are, irrespective of, you know, the person in question, and without even having met him or knowing him. And people are donating, working to ensure, believing that the new Nigeria is possible. Once more, Right Honorable Yusuf, Lasun Yusuf, thank you very much. And, stay with me. I do have someone who raised hand before. That is Busayo Esafiade. Are you there? Can you kindly unmute? Do you have a question, or you want to use the opportunity of having Yusuf here, and you want to donate handsomely to ensuring that he emerges?
Okay, yes, thank you. I'll look into that.
If it's a question, can you make it snappy?
Supporting the candidate and the LP, so to say. All right. I don't know if I should call it a question or an observation concerning what Right Honorable said about building infrastructure, where he said he will center on building factories. And we know that many of the challenges we face in Nigeria has to do with privatization, where they say, okay, government properties, we need to privatize it so that the economy can be boosted. So I don't know if you are looking into that, sir, that we will not find ourselves in that quagmire again. If elected and we focus on building industries And the other thing is, are you looking at public-private partnerships if you want to venture into infrastructure like building industry, so to say? It's a good and perfect idea that OSUN needs. I also come from OSUN, so to say, and I agree with you. I align with you with so many things that you said, that the economy of OSUN is majorly built on the civil servant. So we need to diversify the economy, so to say. That's just what I want to point out.
Thank you
So
very much. I hope
this.
you do have your PVC and you'll be voting for him in 2 weeks' time.
I have my PVC, but unfortunately, I'm not in OSUN right now. And even if I want, I can't transfer my PVC to OSUN too.
Anyway, thank you very much. I have Ebere Uleru. Ebere, kindly unmute yourself and ask your question.
Okay. Good evening, everyone. Good evening, Mazi. Okay, for yielding the microphone to me. Good evening, Honorable Lasso.
Thank you. Good evening.
Good evening, sir. My name is Mrs. Ebere Obiesie. I'm the convener of Women for P2B and the Vice Chairman South for the Coalition of P2B. I heard when you said that women are not represented very well in government, and I was so glad that you mentioned that. So I would like to also ask, what further plans do you have for women in your government when you come in? Because I know you're going to be the governor. We are going to support you, and yes, by His grace, you are supporting you, throwing our weight behind you. So I would like to know if at least you could give women 20% in your government, sir. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ebere. So I think, you know, we will now offer him the opportunity to, okay, please take note. Let's take one more question, then we'll offer you the opportunity to deal with those questions at once. We take Onyeka now. Onyeka, please.
Okay, yeah, thank you so much. Onyeka is my name from Onitsha, Anambra State. I just made a donation of 20,000 to support the candidates and the party. I watched the interviews and we have a good product. And I believe we have been doing a good job of selling our candidate in OSUN State. So we have a nation to build. Nation building is a collective responsibility. And I just want to encourage everybody. Mazi, thank you so much. You are doing a fantastic job. Thank you so much, guys. Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Good luck, sir.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you very much. So, you know, Right Honorable Latsut Yusuf, so it's now your turn to answer the questions, especially that of women and 20%. One would actually think maybe more than 20% actually.
Yeah, thank you very much. Before I answer the question, let me start from the last speaker. Once again, thank you. I'm overwhelmed. Now, let me go to women, and I want to say it with all sense of responsibility. Though my two parents are still alive, but my mother trained me. My mother paid for my education. And so because of that alone, I've always known that when women are involved in creation of anything, then you're going to have positive effects. I might give, it's not going to be less than 20%, but I might give close to 30% in my government, especially when we have discovered that women, even on the day of election, in any election,
Oh dear. Oh dear. Nigeria has struck. That is, well, let's hope he comes back. Nigeria has struck. His connection is frozen. And I think the connection, you know, in the moment, or rather what we say, the heat of the moment, when he's delivering a masterpiece of that answer to the questions that was asked. But Ebere, I think you got you got your answer. You know, you're not only getting 20%, you would get more than 20, close to 30. So remember me to share your percentage with on a lighter note. Thank you. So let me take Ismaila. Ismaila, are you there? Ismaila, kindly unmute, please.
Hello, good evening, sir.
Yeah, good evening. Can you make
My name is Ismail Saba, Niger State Coordinator. So my question goes to Honorable Larson. My concern is, inshallah, is going to win the election. After the election, I hope is not going leaving a Labour Party to another party, because it's a tradition they practice in Nigeria. After we spend all our effort and everything, you find out that one day you just sit down and switch off to ruling party. I hope he's not going to do that. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Ismail. So I think would, you know, when he comes back, that question, a very, very important question I must add. He must, you know, he must respond to that because you're right. We have seen after all said and done, you know, the cross-carpeting happens. So, Obunna Chukwemeka, sorry, go ahead.
Go on, sit down, sit down.
Obunna, go ahead.
Okay, I'm calling from South Africa.
Go ahead, Obunna.
All right. I'm going to support the candidate with 50,000.
Okay, Obunna, thank you, 50,000.
And the question I want to ask you the question.
Me?
Yes.
I'm not contesting anyway, but go ahead.
Okay, the question I want to ask is that in the Ekiti state election, we discovered here that it was highly influenced with money. So how do we prevent a situation like that in the next coming election in OSUN state?
Well, I think if Marcel is here, the strategy team, we do have a strategy team for OSUN. And some of the things the strategy team is discussing is not the things I'm privileged here to avail the public. If we do, then it's no longer part of the strategy. Bear in mind that this level of preparedness was never available during the Ekiti state election. Now it is. And we have the man who is contesting for that governorship here on a global, when I say global, the whole world now is watching us. And the whole world listens to him, and the whole world is listening to us. It means, in simple terms, that as it is now, the things that we saw in Ekiti was a lesson learned, that this voter inducement happened. Now, there are so many plans to deal with that. One of the plans that I can avail to us, not too much strategy behind it, is more voter sensitization, because when the people know that if they take in Ekiti, people took as low as 3,000. And when you are able to explain to someone, please, you have taken 5, 10, 20,000, divided by 365 days, you get something very, very insulting to be called, to say that you are actually have collected that money. Now, and that's, part of it is that majorly in terms of sensitization is ongoing. Now, how to stop it in concrete terms, this is where that strategy group comes in, and they are, I can assure you, if I may borrow the words of President Muhammadu Buhari, if I assure you that this is being looked into and that will also be, we will see a different outcome. Let me leave it at that. Thank you very much. And once more, Obunna, thank you for the 50,000 naira. That's what it means. You have now taken care of 10 booths, 10 people that will stand there, ensure that that election is finished, counted, and transmitted. We will also, on that day, if time permits, we will look at INEC, server where these results come in. We can see it, what our men are sending in. Are they tallying with what is in the INEC server? These are copies that they've done with their telephone. Hence, what we are doing is we're not necessarily paying people, what we are doing is just to mobilize them, because people will need data. You have your telephone, for you to take those pictures, send them to the central strategy portal. You need data to do that. A whole lot is going to happen. These things are not, cast in stone, but we are getting there. Thank you very much. Samuel, may I take your question?
Okay, thank you very much, sir. Okay,
yeah.
I think, okay, can you hear me?
Yes, Samuel, we can hear you.
Okay, I want to make an affectionate appeal. First of all, I need to thank you so much for a job well done. It is not an easy task, but I want to make an appeal. If it's possible.
Sorry, I think the LP candidate is back. Sorry. We'll bring him back now.
Okay.
Let's ask him to unmute.
Okay.
He's back. So, okay, go ahead with your question, please, so that when he comes in, I would we've asked him to unmute.
Okay. So I want to ask him if every work is doing or two states as notified, because he is on ground there like me. I'm in Port Harcourt. Some of us are not in Osun State, but we're trying to make sure that Labour Party are strong. I hope their campaign are being certified in Osun State, so that I'll be able to cover every leakages. That's number one question. And I want to make an appeal, if it's possible, for us to be able to repeat our meeting, if it's possible, before the election, as to give us updates where we are, where Labour Party are before the election of Saturday. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. So, Samuel, thank you for that insight. Now, at the end of the day, how much are we going to be placing beside your name?
I've made my donation and I've transferred the money already.
Oh, brilliant, brilliant. Strong man. Thank you very much.
Yes.
Deeply appreciate. Dr. Solomon Angus. Dr. Solomon Angus, please kindly unmute. Again, Dr. Solomon Angus, kindly unmute.
Unmute is all right. Mazi, thank you so much. I want to greet in a language in there. This is great. I like what you're doing. Honestly, I am the international president of Christian Association of Igbo Ministers, and we are obedient and we know what we are doing is great. I want to ask the Labour Party Guba candidate. I hope they have a very good situation room in Osun State, because of what we witnessed last time in the other Ekiti election, the situation room. I've been able to try to get me the account number. We're going to make our donations. And again, I want to encourage him to make sure that the clergies, both Christian and the other side, should be sensitized. I hope you're getting me, Mazi.
Yes, we can hear you loud and clear.
Yeah, please, because I've talked to our people over there, the organization, our Osun State coordinator, to make sure that our people are being sensitized to be with them, because the situation room is very, very important. If you witnessed what happened at Ekiti State, we need the situation room so that every one of us should be calling and should be talking so that the world will hear our voice. That's my suggestion, sir. Thank you.
Thank you very much. This, suggestion is it's so spot on that we need to find out where we are with that. Then Ifeanyi Igwe, please. You see, one thing that is very clear here, and this is what Nigeria should be, in trying to rebuild a nation that works for all, there should be, and there is no religion, no ethnicity.
Exactly.
From here, this is OSUN. OSUN is not in the southeast, neither is it in the south-south, or is it in the north-central, or is OSUN in the northwest? But here we are, collectively as humans, as Nigerians, who think that things ought to change and it must change in our lifetime. Hence, we're all here together, binding ourselves together, bearing all pains, sitting down and burning our data just to ensure that we have a different outcome. Considering and understanding that there are men who have stolen the future of ours and the future of our children and the future of the ones yet unborn. But here we are as David. David, only thing we have is our catapult and a little stone. But believing that the Creator and believing that the human strength will propel us to shoot that catapult and bring down the Goliath, the elephant in the room. Thank you very much, everyone. And before I hand over to him, because he's now unmuted, let me take the last question. Ifeanyi Igwe, did you just speak? Ifeanyi Igwe, unmute, or you raise your hand again?
All right, thank you very much. Can you hear me now?
Yes, make it very quick, please.
Okay, yes, quick one. I want to really appreciate this opportunity to speak. Honorable, well done. We wish you well. I want to ask some questions from you, Honorable. I spent 10 years in OSUN, I'm in Lagos now, and I know that each candidate always have their stronghold. Can you please tell us your stronghold? And also, the intimidation and attack is possible. I know in Lagos sometimes, some particular area, if you want to vote there, the boys will attack you and make sure you vote for a particular that you don't want to vote for. So is there any plan in place to ensure that your stronghold is protected and also intimidating your prospective voters? And also police aiding people that are going to manipulate the system. Is there any machinery in place? Consider that both NLC and TUC are also with us. Is there any possibility of them working with you to ensure that your votes properly counted and also count for you? That's my question, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Before he takes that question, I must put a caveat. In strategy, and if you have read the 48's laws of power, there are certain strategic informations you may, and it's very inconvenient and anti-strategy to review. And I think one of them is revealing where he is strongly, anything can happen with the bourgeoisie, those that have taken the food meant for you and I for tomorrow, they've eaten it yesterday. So I just need to chip in that before he takes the podium. But before he also do, and I want to ask there was a question when his network was very bad, a question that was asked by Ismail. And I think from Niger State, the coordinator there. He says, question, and Right Honorable Yusuf, I want you to take this question. He said, will you leave the Labour Party if eventually, after all these efforts, you were elected? Is there any way, shape or form in the future that you may consider, after being wooed, cajoled, or in any form, that you would disappoint everyone who is working today and leave the party? So please take that into consideration while you take all those other answers. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. When the network was bad, I missed a lot of questions. So you have to do a lot of reminding me of those questions. First, let me take this last one. One of the few things I have is political character. I'm not gifted to jumping ship all my life. I've consistently stayed in one political party tendency. And all of you, we are all Nigerians, you know the tendency in Southwest. That is the tendency I've belonged to since 1983. I've never, this is the first time I'm doing what I'm doing. And so if I could do that for close to 40 years, I don't think, what am I actually looking for? It's just my intention to serve my people. So what will make me leave Labour Party? I don't know. As long as Labour Party exists, we will be there. I will be there. I will be there. Because don't forget that I joined Labour Party at a time when that party was non-existent in Osun. In fact, I never even knew that someone like Governor Peter Obi was going to come to Labour Party to now add flavor to what is happening today. So I joined Labour Party at that time. And again, not because I wanted to contest for governorship at all costs. No. In fact, if you find out from the national headquarters of the party actually offered me the ticket. And I'm grateful for that, and I'll be eternally grateful. So I won't leave the party. If I was in a political party, one tendency for close to 40 years, then you should know that politically I have character. Then one other thing that while I was answering the question the other time, because all other questions, I didn't hear the network was bad. The network was bad. So I wouldn't know if Marcy will just tell me one or two so that I can do briefly in 1 minute.
Yes, the outstanding two questions are that, if it is possible for this meeting to hold again, for you to brief the people here and the world globally as to what you have been able to achieve prior to that election date proper, maybe a couple of days before the election. And the last question was if there is any situation room that you are created or that you will be creating in order to monitor what is going to be happening on ground.
Yeah, thank you very much. We have a situation room that's not fully equipped now, but we will do that in the next a couple of days, like in the next 3 days. We're going to have a fully functional one. The one we have was the one we used to do our party agents, to collate some other vital information about the politics. The one other thing is, you are be happy if you are going to provide that opportunity too. Maybe by Wednesday, I will be in a position to let you know where we are. But one thing that you should monitor Osun very well. The major issue we have in Osun today is voters' apathy. People are no longer interested in APC and PDP, but I'm not going to depend on that. We are doing our own work, but people are no longer interested in APC and PDP. But with my status, I don't have to be using that to campaign. It means I want to base my success on the misfortune of another parties, which doesn't make sense to me. You have to do your own. So if their misfortune now add value to what you are doing, then it's okay. But I can assure you that people are no longer interested. In fact, find out, it's not good for me to say it on the platform. Find out what happened to the governor today where I went to. It was horrible. So we are going to, like I said, make our situation room very, very functional in the next 3 to 4 days. Then by Wednesday, if you can afford us this opportunity again, then I will be in a position to brief you, the whole house, on our final readiness for the election.
By all means, know that we will, as long as you are ready and willing to do that, we will make our plan. And definitely, because as we say in one of the proverbs in my place, when you go up and you inform the king, endeavor to inform the king also on your way back. We've gathered the people here and we have let them hear from you. We've told them what is happening and how the campaign is going. And everyone is sponsoring votes. For everyone asking question, how much does it cost to sponsor one person? That is one booth. One booth is 5,000 naira. So you may as well, if you wish now, if you can raise your hand, you can tell us how many booths you want to sponsor, or you want to give us one booth. We take, then we'll look for someone to give us the other leg. So one booth is one leg. We stand on one leg, but be rest assured that one leg will not fit stand very well with a shaky small. So thank you very much. Women for P2B 2023. I think they want to show us that there is a way women do these things. I hope the amount is not going to take me off my chair. Women for P2B, that's, you may now unmute yourself and we want to hear the figures. Please, now is figures. We want to hear. My ear is itching. I want to hear numbers.
Let your ear not itch too much. We for P2B actually everywhere to all the states, so we are also looking for funding, but nevertheless, we just want to sponsor, I don't know, 20 booths. That would be like 100,000.
A round of applause, a round of applause. You see what I mean? Now I can stand up because I know this is women. That's why, when you talked about 20%, I am happy when he said he's going to make it close to 30, because, women, I'm overwhelmed. Thank you very much once more. Thank you very much. Yeah, Women for People. Okay. So the account details you have, right?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Any other comment? Okay, thank you. Chukwuemeka, please. Chukwuemeka, unmute.
Okay.
Those of you watching us on Facebook, on YouTube, on Twitch, and those people in Telegram. Also, we are making donations to those platforms in case if there is anything you can. Chukwuemeka, please go ahead.
Yeah, sorry, Mazi, for coming in again, but I thought while the Guber candidate was out, someone asked the question about leaving Labour Party and joining any other one when he gets
maybe your microphone or your headset is not working properly. That was the first question that was asked, and he clearly gave a convincing answer.
Oh, okay, sorry, I missed it.
Okay, thank you very much. So, Cletus, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Yes, please.
Good evening.
Yeah, good evening. 1 minute.
Yeah, I want to appreciate. Yes, I want to appreciate the good work that is going on. And in as much as I'm not in OSUN State, however, I think my phone can reach there. So the Guber candidate is doing a great job, and I think a success for him is also a success for P2B. So in that light, I'll be donating 200,000. Please, wow. I need the account number.
Thank you very much. Yes, we can hear you, Cletus. Admin.
Hello.
Yes, we can hear you.
Yeah, I need the account number.
So
I need the account number.
Yes,
I'll be giving 200,000. I'm doing this because of P2B.
Thank you very much. The account number has been sent to you privately, and the account number is in the chat section. Can you kindly confirm that you've seen the account number in the chat section, please? Cletus, are you there? Okay, Cletus, if the account number has been sent to you in the chat section, and you can see on the screen also is the account number for your, if you do have anything to write down in case, you can take a screenshot, or some call it screen grab, or I may also call the account number for you. The account number is 101-257-5854. And the account name is P2B Support Network, Keystone Bank, Nigeria. Thank you once more. 200,000, that will be, if my mathematics is good, that will be about 40 booths. We are getting somewhere, people. That is the spirit. Cletus said he's muted. Cletus? Okay, something must be wrong. Kindly unmute now. Can you hear Cletus? Okay, Cletus is confirmed that he's received the account number. Thank you.
No, I said I've copied the account number.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you. So in that spirit, Women for P2B, led by Ebere, is giving 100,000, and we know here Cletus is also promised to give us 200,000. All is geared towards OSUN. You know, it gives me so much joy to understand that for once, Nigerians in our lifetime are coming together to do the right thing, to fight the system by ourselves without any form of protection, even when the system we are engaging on or the system we are fighting against has all the ammunitions, all this hardware, military and otherwise, and all the protection. Sorry, who is doing that? Okay, so we go on, we take more people. So who next? Who is next? Daniel, Marcel, do any of us want to say something? Professor Pat Obiefuna wants to say something. Go ahead, Prof. Professor Pat Obiefule, go ahead.
Yeah, Martin JJ. Martin is okay. Good evening. Good evening, all. All obedience. Thank you for giving me the chance. I just want to support the boot on ground OSUN State project with 50,000 naira. Thank you.
Wow, wow, thank you very much. Thank you. You know, honestly, also overwhelmed that we are coming together as Nigerians, you know, irrespective of religion, tribe, creed, anything, to say that the story must change and the narrative must change in our lifetime. Dr. Pat, I thank you very, very, very much for that. Adeyinka Olawumi, kindly unmute.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening, His Excellency Lasso Yusuf and every dignitary present, my chairman, Mazel, and all the executive of the coalition. My name is Dr. Adeyinka Adetokunbo Azubike. I'm the National Coordinator Worldwide for NMPO, Nigerian Institute of B, also the Director of Mobilization for Southwest, Coalition for Peter Obi, and by the special grace of God, getting ready to make a trip down to OSUN State to join our daddy in his, ambition towards the election and to be on ground to at least see what is good, what will happen there, which I believe that he said it that when women get involved in something, you should expect a better result. And I have the belief that I will not step OSUN State as a daughter of the soil, and we'll come back with our face covered by the special grace of God. We are warriors and we are going to conquer, and God is going to give us the victory come the day of election. So sorry, something happened. I'm supposed to have been here before now, but I give God the glory that I got it back. And my DJ, because I have to scroll, back, and I saw that my DJ has been in the house. So I don't know if there's any pledges yet, but I know we're going to do something. And at the same time, I want to ask His Excellency, I don't know if he has talked about that before. My own is on security. I don't know if you have said something on security before. And okay, so how are you going to tackle the issue of security in Osun State? I'm from Ikire, to be precise, and I'm coming back home to join you, sir, so that we can follow you to do it the way it's supposed to be done. It's a pleasure seeing you. God bless you.
Thank you very much. And I can tell you authoritatively that NNPO or anyone from NNPO hasn't, we've had the Women for P2B make their pledge. Anyone from NNPO hasn't. But if you want to do on your personal capacity, our body needs money. We need to have it massaged, the boots. We are walking barefooted, hence we need those boots to go, do the things we can. And I am having the information that the 100,000 for Women for P2B is redeemed. Awesome. What women cannot do does not exist. That's why they are our mothers, So once more, I don't know if he's still here. Okay, yes, he is. If you may take that question, please. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Imasi. Dr. Azubike, thank you very much for the word of encouragement. Your question is not as straightforward as people would think. For anybody running for governorship of a state today, and you ask that person, how do you tackle security? And you begin to lay out the modality, it's going to end up like a lie. First, don't forget that the police is on the exclusive list of our Nigerian constitution. And a lot of people, or nearly everybody in the South, in the last almost 20 to 30 years, have been clamoring for state police. The best way to go about this is to just remove police from the exclusive list of the constitution and make sure we have both state and local government police. That is the direct solution to the security situation in Nigeria. Any other is the most direct, is the most potent, and is the way we must go. Once we can't do that for now, there is no other modality you can put up at the state level that will completely even go halfway in solving the security situation. If you, like for example, in Southwest, the Southwest governor formed Amatekun. But what can Amatekun do? Amatekun just have power of apprehension. They can't arrest. You can only apprehend and hand over to the police. If you hand over any criminal to the police, before you get home, that criminal must have been released. So that is me. It's not going to be that we are not going to make effort. We are going to make effort because everything about our life is local. Politics is local. Security is local. So we are going to get our people involved by making sure that we break it down to community level, where there's what we call CDC in Osun, community development committees, or you call them community development associations, and it's based on local government. We are going to come down to that level, and what they are going to be doing for us is to be collecting intelligent information so that we can use, at least if we are able to collect information within the context of what Nigeria has now, then we can begin to give to the police and say, this is what we have collected, and this is what we think might happen. God forbid bad thing. We want you to act very quickly. That is the best anybody can do now. It's just to organize your people in small units to be able to collect information and hand over to the police. Other than that, the best way to address the security situation in Nigeria is just to remove police from the exclusive list of the constitution and make sure the state begin to have their own police and local government too. I don't see any other way. When we were there, when I was there, as the chairman of ad hoc committee on constitutional review in the House of Representatives, we struggled to put state police there, but it was removed. So that is the major issue. Is the major issue. But like I said, we will do our best by organizing our people locally and making sure they are functional in terms of collecting intelligent information. That's the best anybody can do for now. Nothing again can be done at that level. Even because governors, they call them chief security officer. If a governor calls on the police commissioner of his state to act on something, the commissioner will tell him straight that I'm still waiting for the signal from Abuja. So most of the things that are wrong in our state is because of the nature of our constitution. The Nigerian constitution has almost like 38 items on the exclusive list. And whereas the developed country, most of us always refer to at all time, they don't concern themselves with more than 5 items: military, currency matter, central bank, or the Federal Reserve. They talk about immigration and passport insurance. If you go to any country at all, those are the 5 items they always concern themselves with. But in Nigeria, we have 38 items or more on the exclusive list. So what we have in Nigeria is not a democracy for now. It's a unitary system of government. And people are not paying attention to the fact that that is where the issue is. It's about the constitution. It's about the exclusive list. And once we are not able to get anything done about that, the issue of security cannot be solved in isolation. It has to be a local thing where you have enough information about people who stay around you. And that's why I said, because you are not around initially, I'm going to create a data center in the headquarters of every local government in my state, where data of both people who reside in OSUN will be domiciled like they do in the developed country. So when you do that, at least that again too serves as one of the factors that we can use to monitor our people. So that's the way I understand that question, and that's the way I can answer it. The Nigerian constitution is a debilitating factor against our security system.
Thank you very much. Thank you. We can't thank you enough. I think we will be rounding up, very shortly. We've been here now for the past best 3 hours now. And I think for us to quickly round up here, I would re-invite the chairman for coalition, or rather chairman coalition for P2B, to quickly give us update. We had expected to have the Labour Party leadership with us. I do not know if, what then happened, if they asked to, if they are here or they are not coming. If they are not coming, people, we said that we'll be calling it a day. Marcel, you may have the floor.
Okay, thank you so much, Mazi. And I want to say a special thank you to our Labour Party gubernatorial candidate, Honorable Lasso. Thank you so much for coming on board.
Thank you, sir.
We belong to a small WhatsApp group that includes the Labour Party himself and some other key stakeholders, where a lot of these things have been discussed. When I reached out to the Labour Party chairman, there is a lot of challenges why he can't join us today. But this fundraising continues. This is the Zoom segment. We will be using the Twitter Space segment, and we hope that the gubernatorial candidate will be able to join us. I'll keep in touch with you, sir, to let you know when that is going to happen. We're clear on what we want to achieve. We want to put close to between 3,000 to 4,000 boots on ground in OSUN. We want to also be able to support them logistically. We are not asking you for the money because you have volunteered yourself to serve. So we are asking the public that believe in the need to rescue this country to donate whatever they have. And listening to you, you have a very good grasp of the problem of the country. And that's why we're telling people that the steps to rescue the country has started. You see, that list that is in the constitution is the greatest problem we have, and I'm happy you pointed it out. That list practically incapacitated every level of government apart from the federal government, and you cannot grow when everything is concentrated at the center. Just like a company that has branches, and then you are not allowing the branches some level of liberty to grow. You cannot do it all, and that's the biggest problem we have. So, sir, thank you so much for pointing that out. And we know that as we bring people like you in government, the constitution is a document that can be changed. if you have the critical mass. So if we support Labour candidates with this kind of ideology, then I want to tell you that the country will be rescued, because all it takes is having the critical mass make that vote and that decision, and then it is changed. It doesn't require any military fight, nothing. It is politics. So we need to bring the right leadership into government. Maz is okay. Thank you so much for making this happen. We will keep in touch with you. The coalition will proceed with its activities, and sir, we will keep you informed. There's a lot of things that we're bringing. Is not something we'll discuss in the open, but probably in that small WhatsApp group, I would let you know the details of what the coalition is bringing to the ground. And we hope that we'll meet you when we touch our foots in OSUN. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
So thank you, everyone. On this note, I would say thank you very, very, very much. And you know, to our candidates, you know, it's I can only ask one thing, that, you know, because I have my ears and I am of the street, I am made up, and I am a man who is in the street. And the street is wanting me to tell you ahead of time the hours that you've spent today with us, that by any odd we do, and you are elected the governor of OSUN, the street is demanding that you must and you should not relent, that you should continue to speak to the people that you govern and the people that have elected you on this platform and any other platform that will give the street the opportunity to be with you, be it here virtually, and to interact like we have done today, respectfully, and for you to explain some of these things that might sound complex in their minds, to break it down for them, to understand, and to help you also achieve that goal of changing the narrative for us collectively. And to all the audience online, the account number, once more, is on the screen. We have only one thing to beg of you, that if you believe that you and I have the capacity and what it takes to take down the monster that we have today, we must put our money where our mouth is, which is to ensure that you do the little you can, be it one boot. You can share one boot with, you know, your friend. You can make it 2 people, one, contribute that to ensure that no stories on this date, that today the new narrative and the new Nigeria that we are all witnessing, the things that they tell us, oh, these people are only on social media, that we must prove and we must showcase that, yes, this is not a social media movement, but this is a people's movement, that this is possible. On that note, I say to us, all believers who believe that a new Nigeria is indeed possible, thank you all once more for being part of this conversation and this fundraising this evening. Continue to use the account number, as those in the church will say, as the Spirit leads. You may wake up, the Spirit says, look at that account number again. I've given 1000, but just add 2 more zeros. Our spirit will also be glad that the Spirit has led you to add more zeros to what you've given before, and that means you're buying more books. On that note, I say thank you very much, everyone.